Hey, at the 812 Living Group, we are all about local, and there's nothing more local than knowing where your food comes from. And so, with that in mind, we have Brad Walker of Walker Family Homestead with us today. He's going to talk to us about what they do at their farm and where maybe you can get some locally grown food. Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mike.
Hey, so people may not know about Walker Family Homestead. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we um we are located in Otisco, um, small little town, Henryville, Charlestown area. Probably more on the Henryville side where we're located. We've been there for 3 years, but we started doing the farming thing about 5 or 6 years ago on a quarter acre, and moved out there just so we could kind of expand and focus more on doing what we're doing and offer more to customers. So we have about 15 acres. We actively farm about, I guess, about six of that. That's actively being farmed right now. And we do um, sustainable practices, organic practices. We're not certified or anything like that, but we take a lot of care into what goes into our food and therefore is going into our bodies and our customers' bodies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a big thing that's on people's minds today, right? Like what's going into our bodies. And we've had a couple of decades of just eating highly processed foods, and now I think we're making a turn back. Hey, you said you started farming on less than an acre. That's if I remember correctly, that's downtown Jeffersonville, and you were on the forefront of that kind of urban farming, if I remember.
Yeah, we were on about a quarter acre, which included our house in downtown Jeffersonville. And we started out with just some chickens that were laying eggs for us. And slowly, well, maybe not so slowly, but we grew that. And then we started growing our own meat chickens. And we just started doing that for ourselves. We wanted to know where our food was coming from and what was going into our food. So this was a personal conviction for us and the health of our family. And from there, it was some people had heard that we were doing this and they asked if they could buy a chicken from us. And then they would ask if they could buy a couple chickens from us. And they would tell somebody, and it just kind of, the schemer in me thought, hey, if I get enough people to buy these chickens, then I can feed my family for free.
Uh,
And it just kind of progressed from there until we decided we ended up adding, we had three goats at one time, we had two beehives, we had about 20 or 30 egg layers, and at any given time we probably had 30 or 40 meat birds rotating around our property on
yeah.
just a quarter acre.
On just a quarter acre. That's amazing. And it sounds like the motivation was started out, hey, we're doing this for us. You found a bunch of like-minded people who said, hey, can you do it for us too? And that sounds like that's how Walker Homestead was founded.
Yeah, it was a pretty natural progression. Um, and then when we moved out there, we had actually kind of stepped back from it just a little bit. We had gotten rid of every animal that we had, and when we moved out there to our current property, we didn't own one chicken, and so we just kind of slowly rebuilt it. And it's been a wonderful blessing to be out there and to watch it build and to see, get to know all of our customers on a personal level. We have one customer's kid calls me Uncle Brad, which is just really cool.
Yeah.
Just to have that connection with the people that we're serving.
Yeah. Well, so you touched on it a little bit, but other than the food being locally grown, what separates from what you produce and grow and sell compared to what people are going to find at a local grocery store like Meyer or Kroger?
So the big difference is location. You can pinpoint where your food comes from and how many miles it actually travels to get from, when it's born or hatched or whatever to your dinner table. But also, we follow sustainable practices. So we want to do, it's often called regenerative farming. So we want to do what's best, not just a quick turnaround of the animals, but we want to do what's good for the animals. We want to do what's good for the land, and we want to do what's good for us. So we rotationally graze our cattle. We have different pastures that we move our cows through. Our chickens, our egg laying chickens, are 100% free range. I literally go on an egg hunt every afternoon all over our property to find eggs. We And then our meat birds, they get moved every day. So for every day of their life, they are on a new piece of grass. They are outside, they're in the sun, in the elements, they're on grass, they're foraging for bugs, they're eating grass, just like they were meant to do. And they're never on the same patch of grass twice in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So just these practices, they're good for the land. It refertilizes the ground as we move them all around. The land gets time to rest in between, so it can regrow thicker and lusher, which is better for the cattle that are grazing it, and the chickens that are foraging on it. And on top of those things, we buy from a local feed mill, and so we supplement with all of the grass that all of our animals are consuming with non-GMO feed. And we're pretty particular about that because, like you said, we started out feeding our family. And so we don't want to give something to you that we would not put in our own family, give to our own family. So we're pretty picky about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great, kind of a great sales pitch or motto to have. Hey, we're eating the same food. Our family's eating the same food that we're providing to your family. And I love the thought of you going on an egg hunt every day. And if anybody follows you on social media, you have a Facebook page, you do have a YouTube account, you can learn that occasionally he goes on a cow hunt as well. So make sure you check that out. We'll put links to the social medias along with the video. Brad, you do have a family, so your family's consuming some of that food. What's the makeup of that? How much on your farm does your family keep, and how much do you give away or provide?
I'm not sure exactly percentage wise of what we produce. What I can tell you is for going on 6, close to 7 years, we've not bought meat from a grocery store. So between raising our own and hunting, which actually hunting was the gateway for me. Hunting is how I got started in all of this and raising and processing our own food. That between hunting and raising all of our animals, we've not bought meat. So we grow 100% of our family's own meat. We raise it all, either through hunting or farming. We consume about 50% of our produce based on what we grow. And then so far this year, we've harvested about 85 pounds of honey also, which we've not been selling that any this year. We're hoping to sell some next year. But as far as our dairy goes, we sell far much more than what our family consumes.
Okay.
We have a very strong dairy customer base, and we oftentimes have the conversation: what good is it if we raise all of this and we don't have whatever we want to consume ourselves? It's easy to get lost in that too.
Yeah.
To meet the customer demand and kind of overlook ourselves, but we do try to take care of our own family first through it all. So
I am fascinated. I've got to ask you, you started on, quarter acre. Now you've got what would be considered by most measures a really small farm. If someone's listening, they say, hey, maybe we would like to try our hand at this. What encouragement might you have for somebody, or discouragement?
my counsel would be start slow. I think even for myself, the danger is wanting to try to do everything. With the current cultural situation, people want to be prepared. They're concerned the food chain is going to collapse, and they think they've got to have everything and do everything themselves. Um, I would even say that in the most agriculturally based times in even American history, that people didn't do everything all that by themselves. So I would say go slow. Um, Learn from the community that already exists. Uh, we've learned a lot, and there's tremendous value in YouTube videos. There's plenty of content to learn how to do stuff. But until you find people that that are already doing what you want to do, and you can learn from them hands on, uh, it's always just going to be the head knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I would say find the community, find the people, go to farmers markets, meet farmers, find the people that farm the way you would like to, and then invite yourself to come along.
Yeah. It's Brad Walker, Walker Family Homestead. Brad, your website shows that you guys do a variety of things. You mentioned some of them: meat, eggs, dairy, even massage therapy. So you got a lot going on there. What are your most popular items?
I think by far the dairy is probably our leader. Um, and then massage therapy is probably a close second as far as our annual income goes. Um, Starla is a licensed massage therapist and has been since mid 2000s. And she's worked in a couple different chains. She's worked for chiropractic offices, but we really wanted to focus on the home based economy. And so she serves clients out of our home and stays really busy doing that. So those two things are probably the top things, with a close third and fourth being the meat. So chickens, holiday turkeys, and then this year we started doing some beef. And then beyond that, the soap that we've been making. We've
Yeah.
been doing that for give or take 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Walker Family Homestead. They were on the cutting edge of the work from home movement. Brad, if people want to get a hold of you, they want to see about buying some of these products from you so that they can get their food sourced locally, where can they find you?
I would say right now, if you're in the Southern Indiana area, come check us out at the Scott County Farmers Market. We're there every Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. So not only can you buy from us, but you can talk to us. You can ask us whatever questions you have about our products or about learning how to farm. We've helped counsel people just standing there at the farmers market, wanting to learn more and how to do things themselves. So there's a Scott County Farmers Market Saturdays from 8 to noon. We have our website, walkerfamilyhomestead.com. You can go on there and explore all of our products. We have a friend who made a really cool video for us, just to kind of get a grasp of the landscape that we're working. And so that's on our front page there. So walkerfamilyhomestead.com, and then follow us on Facebook, the Walker Family Homestead on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll make sure to include links to all of those things. Folks, if you want to get your food locally, as well as some soaps and massages, they've got a lot going on there. They are providing food for the community. It's the same food that they're feeding their family, they're offering to your family. Go check them out. Walker Family Homestead. Brad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.